is money won't make you rich. Or someone might say their own one of my own best is law of difference, for example. Somebody might say their own best is the essence of life, how to live effective life, different, especially the financial books. But do you know, funnily enough, this book that this guy is talking about, how to make Nigeria the greatest country in the world, is one of the least purchased or read books. In fact, can somebody give me all the Nigerian books? Show me this book, of course, this one. Yeah, and help me find all the Nigerian books. So this is the book this guy said is the best for him out of all my books. I mean, can you believe it? And I believe him that it is actually true that this could have been, it could be any book of mine that you read, you will actually think is the best. Because, because almost it's impossible to read a book of mine and not, unless they are translated from Russian language and the language might not be so good, but if you are talking of the content, you always say each one of them is the best. Because I take my time to go through all of them with a lot of attention. But you will not believe it, Victor, that these Nigerian books, they are the best thing that has ever happened to Nigeria. But Nigerians, not even Nigeria, any country that will read these books will be flabbergasted. And I think that we will also need the other one of the nations, the one you reviewed. So, and this one is another one, the Nigerian book. The Nigerian economy, how the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy. It's another one, but it's not being bought. Nobody is buying these books. Nigerians have lost so much hope in their country that on this one, I don't even know why this guy bought it. But whatever made him to buy this book and read it, if he had not read it, he would have discovered what he discovered. But he read it and discovered that this is the best book he has ever read. Now, this is another one like that. Only God can save Nigeria, what a myth. Anybody who read it will also say it's the best. Another one is this one, the Nigeria economy, the way forward. Another one nobody is buying, but anybody who buy it will discover that it's also the best. And maybe this one too, how to become a developed nation through dignity of labor. This is not about Nigeria, this is about the world. Make any country a developed country. And then this one, discovering the purpose and calling of nations. This one, Anu did a marvelous job on this. I think people's eyes were open. People started buying it immediately after this. but could you believe it that this guy will say, and anybody who will read this one will also say this is the best book they have ever read. The Nigerian economy, how the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy. But this is the one the guy read. And he said, this book, How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World, is his best book. Now, what will you say about that yourself?
Well, I would say that he's only spoken about 28. From the ones he's read.
But he's read 28.
Yeah.
That's not small.
So, and usually for people to say this is my best, I'm thinking it depends on the question people have themselves. Because until you have a question, you will not get an answer. So if I'm giving you an answer to what you don't have a question about, you may not recognize it. So I think, in my own opinion. But what do you think?
Go ahead of you, because I've read the letter.
Yes, sir.
So I discovered that reading the letter that he probably came to that conclusion, maybe not because he had asked himself a question about can Nigeria become the greatest country on earth? Because most people, when they just see the title, How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World, they would think it's just a selling trick. That this is just a strategy, marketing strategy, a strategy to sell the book. Or especially this one, which one is that one? This one, How the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy. Anybody who will touch this too, they will think, no, it's just to sell. So I don't know, maybe it's out of curiosity that he read it, but from what he read, I think what made this book to become his best book is because he didn't expect the information that was inside. He never knew that as a Nigerian, that he could still, I think this is what happened. I think he had come to a hopeless situation about Nigeria.
like most men, like most Nigerians.
You think so? No, you tell me about it. You think most Nigerians have lost hope?
Well, from what we see and from
From
the discussion we have, many Nigerians have lost hope. But I think you are better know about that. You get all these letters and all these people call you.
Yeah, but I don't want to be the only one speaking. I want us to.
So from what we know, from what I know as a person, and from what I see and hear around, in fact, nobody, once they step out of Nigeria, wants to go back. Only if they just want to go and visit and just run back again. So it shows you the level of degradation, the level at which hope has been lost by a big number of the population. And so the question is, what can be done to revive this?
But what will surprise you most about this particular person who wrote this one, who said this book has become his best book, is that the person is still living in Nigeria. But he has lived abroad, he has lived everywhere, but he's now living in Nigeria, and is now saying, after reading this book, that he got so much hope and fire that in fact he's starting a movement just for people to read this book. A whole movement in the state, among school people, among church people, just to begin to read this book. He said, because if anybody will read this book, he said they will be so much on fire, they will have so much faith in themselves that they will want to go and look for problems. Give me any challenge. He said, because that's what they wanted to do. But Nigerians are not reading it because they have lost hope. He said he started bragging himself that I'm a Nigerian. He said it's the first time he became proud that he's a Nigerian. But you will read it, I'm sure it's there.
Yeah. But I think
yes, I want to hear you.
When people get to read these books, and I mean, even just to meet you, even without reading, just to spend just to spend a few seconds with you, I think for you the biggest commodity you sell is hope.
Wow.
Yeah. You rekindle hope, and faith of people, first in themselves, and then again to be in humanity, to know that they can contribute something. So no matter how little, they can contribute something.
Not just in Nigeria.
Not just in Nigeria. I mean, that's the backbone of what you've been able to do in Ukraine, to be able to send hope to people and they rekindle faith in themselves. And I mean, I read that of the mayor, so the former mayor of Kyiv, when he met you and the things he was able to do after that, just by rekindling faith in himself. Yeah, so
you are the first one I will hear that statement from. That the first thing people get when they meet me is hope.
Yeah,
I never knew that that comes across.
Yes, for me, I just been around you for a little while that I've been. I try to study the reaction and responses of people who come around you and what happens when they go back. So I see that over 85% of such people go back to start an NGO of some sort to give back to humanity. And they engage in some sort of fierce self-development after that encounter. I mean, people have come here to learn, not people who have come to visit. Even some of those who have come to visit, but generally those who have come around to learn, I see them do that. The Kingdom Fruit series gets to show all of this. So for me, what I see as the backbone of what makes that happen is that somehow there's a fire that will start up within them, and there's a rekindling of faith in themselves, and then to believe again in humanity. So the question would be, how do you do that?
Yeah, because I will not tell you how I do that now, because if I do, I will not deal with the letter of this guy. So I would rather focus on that letter, so that people, because it's the title of the message, of the program itself is there. DSA. So we would like to make him the hero today.
All right. Maybe we should mark that down and ask that another day. Maybe ask Pastor Sunday session.
Yes.
All right. So I'll go back to the last paragraph, then I continue. It says, I must say, of all your books I have read so far till date, because I have read virtually all your books written in English, this well-researched, articulated masterpiece is my best.
Well researched.
Well researched, yeah. Articulated masterpiece is my best.
What is a masterpiece?
A masterpiece is an item or an object that has
So people use that a lot for my books. I just went on Amazon today and I was reading some of the comments in some different books. By the way, if you have read any of my books from Amazon or something, please go and write your comment. We need you to leave your reviews on Amazon. So please go and leave your reviews on the Amazon comment, your comment on the Amazon. But all of them, almost in all the books where there is a comment, they always use that word masterpiece.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking you. So what would be your...
To me, I think I would define a masterpiece as an item or an object that has so much beauty or so much design that it transcends time. So if you see it tomorrow, it will still be as beautiful or as elegant or as enormous as it used to be. So that it goes beyond time. It's not just any other thing that was built. It was something that is built to last, built with so much beauty and vigor. So
it was generational excellence.
Yes, and something very excellent that stands the test of time. So to me, that's a masterpiece. And so when I also look at your books, I see things like you have said that years to come, they will still remain relevant. So they still remain relevant. But do you, in your own opinion, agree with them that this is a masterpiece?
I work to always produce masterpieces in everything I do, but I always think of the fact that my opinion should be, it's just personal opinion. That's what I think I've done. I've done my best. But the assessment will be left for the audience. The audience will be the ones to assess what they are reading, what they are touching, if it's truly a masterpiece or not. So every actor or every sculptor, whatever he does, he is thinking he has done a masterpiece. Yeah. But the public have to assess, is it a masterpiece or not?
Yeah, you have it. People are responding on the online and on Amazon, and they are sending you these letters. And when they get to speak, they are always saying it of the impact your books have created in them, and especially in the part of the world where Nigerians live, where you don't have something like that. So it's like you are bringing them fresh water in a very dry land. So
yeah, but what surprised me about this particular one is that it's a book on Nigeria, and Nigerians don't want to read books about Nigeria.
More Americans are buying it.
More Americans. There is a guy in England who himself is from Zimbabwe, yeah. And he read my book on Nigeria, and he's using the principles to bring about transformation of his own city in the UK. And Nigerians are not reading the book. They are losing out.
Yeah. Generally, I think that there's still a lot of work to be done with the reading culture.
Yeah, and the mindset. I think the hopelessness right now in Nigeria is so big. For some reasons, the hopelessness in Nigeria is so big right now among the masses that, and that's the more reason why they must read all these books I'm writing about Nigeria.
Well, again, it's why they should read it, but they are not reading it. How do we get them to read it?
Yeah, I think it's education. It's education. We need to keep on talking. Okay, what else did you guys say?
Yeah, so he's saying, firstly, reading this book did 4 quick things in my life. So,
4 things?
Yeah, 4 quick things.
Okay.
And immediate, amongst other things that it did. First, it made me proud to be a Nigerian.
Okay, we have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I think that one, I think this is the reason why the book really caught him. And this is the reason why he's very emotional and why he had to write me this letter, because he had given up on Nigeria. And I know the guy, and I know that he's making plans to leave Nigeria for good.
He was?
He was, okay, before I read the book. So now to be saying he's now again proud, after he had given up and he was ready to quit, to throw in the towel. And now he say, after reading the book, the very first point, he's saying he's proud to be a Nigerian again. Have you ever gone through that stage of losing hope or being disillusioned or disappointed that you are a Nigerian, and you know, or you have to get yourself back to believing in the nation again, or you never even had that challenge?
I used to believe so much in Nigeria, but I had a moment of doubt when I went back to Nigeria.
Okay.
In 2016. 2016. So I went back to Nigeria in 2016, and I saw the whole place was, and I've been here for 5 years that I had not gone back to Nigeria. So it was a total cultural shock. And I'm looking at, okay, is this where I'm coming back to? Yeah, we want to make Nigeria great, but I hope this place won't kill us before we try to even make it great. So, I mean, I was thinking, how can I survive in this place like this? I mean,
you won't survive.
Yeah, I mean, at least someone has to survive first before he changes anything. You know, for example, I was in Ekiti. In Ekiti, almost everybody had not been paid for 7 months. At that time. And culturally, Yoruba people, when you go to visit them, they will give you something. I mean, money or something to bless you as you're going. That's how elderly people do it. But with the way the situation was, it was me. That was because I couldn't give it to them. I had to be given to some of their children because I understand what, and the place was just so dry. So I'm looking, if I was going to come back to Nigeria, is it this place? So as of that point, I was just so confused. It hit me so hard. So I was just so confused. I mean, maybe like this man, because you said he's also been abroad. Because I'm looking at the dynamics of things here. Even if I was not doing anything, I was not a doctor, there are still little means of making things happen here. So as long as you can use your head. Yes, it's possible in Nigeria, but I discovered then that Nigeria only gave 2 options. First is to be a mediocre. Second is that it will kill you. Then the third one is never given.
Never?
It's never given.
No opportunity.
The third one.
And no option given.
Yes, it doesn't give you. And that option is to be great. Nigeria will never show you down. As of what the situation is. You are the one who has to go and discover it. And I think that was what that man discovered in your book. That third option. How about you, sir? Was there a time you gave up?
The only time I was close to disillusionment about Nigeria was during the time of Abacha. Babangida Abacha. Yeah, so especially Abacha, between all those things that were happening between Babangida Abacha and Abdul Salam, yeah, that period looked very, very bleak for Nigeria for me. And then but I didn't give up. But it was only I made up my mind that I will never go back to that country again if the military doesn't go. And then the second time I was close to that kind of decision was during the time of Jonathan. I said, I told God, if Jonathan will be re-elected, I will take all my family members away from there and I will never go back there again. And soon after that was when God told me to play my role so that he would not be elected. So I played my role, and it was just during that period, immediately after the election, I had a revelation that I have to go back to Nigeria. So, but thank God I didn't get to that point, because I just knew Jonathan shouldn't be re-elected, and thank God it was now.
Someone is saying here, sir, that Nigerians have lost hope totally said, I lost hope completely before I met DSA.
Wow.
Now I see a new Nigeria in my mind.
What was the name?
Akimbo Boy Akintunde.
He is based in Nigeria.
He's based in Nigeria. So that indicates the writer. A lot of people have given up. Quite a number of people. I mean, they just resigned to fate. Whatever will be, will be.
But if they have read this book, the same thing would have happened to them. That is happening to this writer right now. To this guy who wrote the letter. And I'm sure most people who are watching us have not even read the book. Even though the book is already in Nigeria. The guy got the book from Chioma. And the book is also on Amazon. People can even read this book for free. I even saw it today again on Amazon and Unlimited, Prime. Amazon Unlimited, that is it's free. You can read it for free if you are on Kindle Unlimited. So, but if you don't have, you can still write to my office here to dsasbooks@gmail.com or go to my blog, sundayadelajablog.com/books and get it for free. Not just this one, but all the Nigerian books. They will blow up your mind. You will, in fact, you will keep on reading the letter of this guy, but you will feel you are starting to live again. This guy is going to be 50 years old, 40-something years old. He wanted to run away from Nigeria, but now he said he's starting his life again just because of this book. He's starting to live all over again.
But dear sir, I would like to know, when was your proudest moment of being a Nigerian? When were you most proud that you were a Nigerian?
I think that time has not come. That time has not come yet. Because I grew up, for example, I finished secondary school at 85. And that 85 was the time, actually I entered secondary school in 79. That 79 was the time when the glorious age of Nigeria came to an end. That was when the civilians the First Republic was introduced, and they are the ones who that was during their time that the country was really ruined. But that time I entered secondary school. I was only 12 years old. So at 12 years old, Nigeria was still almost $1, almost $2 to $1. Even when I left in 86, it was still 75 kobo to $1. So it was still okay when I left, but it was already bad compared to what we were having before. We were having in the 70s, we were having $2 to $1. So, but I think that the most glorious time in Nigeria's history was between 73, let me see, 70.
After the Civil War.
70, after Civil War, 75, 76, 70, 74, 75, 74, 75, 76. Those 3 years were the most glorious. That was the time of Muritala Muhammad and Obasanjo. Obasanjo, everything great in Nigeria has been connected to Obasanjo. Many people will deny that. Many people will argue it. They will say he's an evil man, it's this and that. But he has done the best for the country so far. Everything that is working in Nigeria right now is connected to Obasanjo, one way or the other. He has done so much. By the time he left the office, that was the time when Nigeria was having, almost $2 to $1. But people might not remember that, especially the new generation. There was something they had in Nigeria that was called Udoji. What they call it? Either Udoji time or Udoji commission or something they call it. But Udoji, everybody knew Udoji. What was Ndoji Commission? What was it all about? It was the time when there was a big raise in salary for
Civil
servants. So that was the time they had Festac. So those years from 74 to 77, those were the most glorious years. Those were the years of oil boom. But that time they directed the oil boom to the populace. Now, why did I say it was a glorious thing for me? The most glorious part of the time of Nigeria. It was the time that you see everybody you had living in Lagos. That was the time everybody was rushing to Lagos. And when you come back from Lagos, they will come with musical instruments. Stereo. What is it? It was like going to America. And even more. It was a time when they were feeding school children for free. I used to go to school, not eat, till I will come back from school. But here, they were cooking in the school. We never saw that kind of thing before. Cooking in the school and feeding you real food. The type of food I didn't eat at all. Beyond understanding. Some people will be going to school just to be fed. That was the most glorious. I was still small, but I could still remember those. I was like 10 years old and 8 years old, something like that.
Yeah. While you were talking about that, you mentioned something that quickly caught my attention, and that was Festac, 77. And saying that you are linking Nigeria's glorious years, I mean most so far, to those times. Some people have also argued that Nigeria's problem started with Festac 77. You know, that they brought a lot of black power to the soil of Africa, and that was the beginning of the problem. What do you say to that assertion?
Yeah, those people who are saying that are people who are fetish in their thinking. They are Christians, but they are fetish in their thinking. They believe in bush power. They believe that some evil terrestrial power are the thing that decide destiny on the earth. Rubbish. It's just like saying all the black occultic things they took from Europe to Africa. I mean, from Africa to Europe. You know, they invaded the shrines of Benin, Ife, all these shrines, and took all their gods, all the idols, which they were supposed to be gods, Orisha. Yeah. All the Orishas and the gods were taken as souvenirs. If you go to France now, it's full of all the African souvenirs. If you go to Netherlands, if you go to England, all those places, even Berlin, they are full of Nigerian Orishas. Yeah. And so the economy didn't fall. After that, the economy never collapsed.
Why is it Nigeria? They did high-scale invasion to Nigeria.
You know, it's just rubbish. It's just people who are fetish in their thinking.
But funny enough, even if that assertion were to be true, of all the states in Nigeria, Lagos is still booming. Yeah. And the stuff was done in Festac in Lagos. So why is it that Lagos is still booming, but other parts of Nigeria? if Lagos were to be a country, I think they would have solved more of their problems than being in Nigeria.
So they're just superstition. Our people believe in superstition too much.
So they just linked everything. There's Festac.
Released everything to some terrestrial powers and things.
So, sir, I want to ask a question on the basis of this. The writer said it made me proud to be a Nigerian. I mean, the book, How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a few things that you think Nigeria has now, for which Nigerians have no choice but to be proud?
The things, so I come again, you have to come again with that.
Some of the things or values or assets that you
started by saying what the guy said.
Yeah, he said it made me to be proud to be a Nigerian.
Yes.
So that's reading this book.
Mm-hmm.
So, but generally now, I want a Nigerian listening to see some things in Nigeria, to realize just even maybe 3 or 2 or 4 things in Nigeria right now that he is not seeing that, but if he just knows this, he should be proud to be a Nigerian, like this writer.
Okay. Not from the book, but just anything.
Generally, yes, sir.
Okay. I'm writing a book now that is going to highlight one of those things. The book is not yet ready, but it's still being written. The book is going to be called The Power in Nigeria's Diversity. So the greatest wealth or the greatest thing that I see Nigeria to be proud of is exactly the thing that Satan is attacking the most, our unity, which is our greatest resource right now. And I'm overwhelmed, I'm bewildered, I'm shocked, I'm astonished at the fact that people who are supposed to be educated will even advocate for Nigeria to break down. Or people who are supposed to be better informed will even advocate for restructuring. I'm disappointed. I'm appalled by that. Because the one single greatest thing that we have that's going on for us, greater than oil, greater than raw materials, greater than mineral resources, is our diversity. But I think that people in Nigeria might never really understand this or appreciate it unless you have lived abroad. But those who have lived abroad and are still thinking that we are better separated, their brain should just be taken to the fridge. They should just go to the freezer. They should just lock up their brain in the freezer. Because it means they are not learning from the world, from events. They are not analytical. They don't think. Or they are too sentimental to think. So the greatest thing I think every Nigerian should be proud of is diversity. The number two thing that I think every Nigerian should be proud of is our entrepreneurial spirit, the energy of Nigerians. The energy of Nigerians, the entrepreneurial spirit of Nigerians. So that is the second thing I think Nigerians should be proud about. Number three thing that I think Nigeria should be proud about is our energy. We are a warring people. We are a military people, militant people. So our energy, our ambition, our tenacity, our tenaciousness, our passion, the energy, the drive, that is the number three thing I think Nigerians should be proud about. No people like Nigerians in the world, in that sense.
A popular preacher once said, go anywhere in the world, you will see a Nigerian who doesn't just live there but has learnt the language and has mastered the culture and the tribes even far better than those who are original indigenous. So I think this testifies, it attests to the energy and the enterprising spirit of Nigerians. And Nigerian that is normal without people putting sentiment in his head loves and can cope with diversity. And I think that's why they cope in other climes. Because having been in Nigeria has helped them with that virtue already. So when they go to the US, they are not really feeling the heat. They can still move on. When they are in Germany, they are not really feeling the heat. They can move on.
So they have to be polluted in their minds.
So I think it's because of the pollution that goes on, the bigotry, the ethnic orientation that
I have lived outside Nigeria for close to over 30 years now, and I will say we don't have tribal problem at all because I have what to compare to. So in that my book, people are going to see that Nigeria doesn't even have tribal problem we think we have. Everything is, Nigeria people have tribalism, Nigeria problem. You come to Ukraine and live before you know if there is tribalism or somewhere. You go to Rwanda and live and see the difference. Go to South Africa and see if there is tribalism. Go to any nation in the world and compare. Even America, go there and see if there is tribalism or not. They don't call it tribalism, but go there and see that people have differences or not. Any country, even in the Great Britain, go to Great Britain and tell me what have they have done better than Nigeria in terms of culture, opportunities for each culture. What has always, why my proof that there is no tribalism in Nigeria is this: number one, any family, any tribe that you go to in Nigeria, any tribe, anybody from that tribe is in any position you want. Number two, if you anybody from any part of Nigeria could be making it in any area.
Yeah.
Anybody, that's what always surprises me, that people will go from one village or the other. You never even had their local government before, and he's the one making it somewhere. Nobody even cares where you come from. In that sense, in Nigeria, but people talk about discrimination. That is nothing. I am talking about countries whereby you cannot do that in most places. Do you know that even in the US, the city, the country, or the state you come from influences even your driver's license, or could influence your admission to university? It could influence the school you go to. Things that we don't even dream of in Nigeria. The only problem I see that we have in Nigeria is the problem of the haves and the have-nots, the rich and the poor, the corrupt and the masses. That is the only problem I think we have in Nigeria. Our only enemy is the oppressors. But tribe, everybody, I think, the people have done a good job with the system that is in place in Nigeria. People say they have quota system. I don't know if they have quota system. I know they used to have it in the 70s. I don't know if they still have it now. Do they still have it?
Yeah.
Even if they still have it, you think they don't have quota system in America? They have. You think they don't have quota system in other countries? They have quota system everywhere. But Nigeria, I don't even feel that quota system. They say Yorubas are more highly educated, some states are. But if you say, but that's only in regards to federal universities. In regards to state university, they can go to their state university or anything. So I don't even see it. Or if you want to be competitive, be the best. Be the best. You will be admitted anywhere. So I don't see a big problem with talking about this. If I could come to Ukraine, where I'm nobody, no passport, nothing, and still become everything, where everybody is just against me. Talk Nigeria is like heaven in that sense. So don't talk to me about that. If I go to America, even for me to speak alone, people are talking to me an accent. Pardon, or oh, where are you from? Not because of my accent. In Nigeria, I don't want. So if I can go out there and make it, I don't have to complain about Nigeria at all. I don't know what you go. I don't know even if I go to, I'm flying the plane anywhere in the world, I feel myself strange. Because I will be the only one like myself there, or one or two other people like me. You have to control yourself. But in Nigeria, it's just like so. I would not want to talk about tribalism at all in Nigeria. No, and we have overplayed it. We have made too big, too much ado about what is it? Ado they call it. Too much, ado about nothing. Yeah. So it is too much noise about nothing.
And when you look at, you have said it rightly, that the marginalization in Nigeria is between the rich and the poor.
Yeah.
When you look at the political class, the elites, the rich guys, they don't care about your tribe. They don't care about your religion. They don't care about anything. What unites them is what unites them. The money, the greed, and everything. So, and they have now understood that they can use these things to divide the masses, so they just keep pushing it in.
And the people who are most guilty of that are not even, they are the Christians. They always talk about the Islam agenda, as if they have been injected something, that the only thing they can say is Islamic agenda. But they are just creating division for nothing.
But again, this is where I said I did a program this week. I said how religion has taken away the ability to be reasonable. The person they are trying to accuse of bringing an Islamic agenda was a military dictator. When he was a military dictator, his vice was a Muslim. Idi Agbon, Tunde Idi
Two of
Agbon,
them are Muslims.
they were both Muslims. As of that time when he could rule by decree, even he did not put Nigeria in Organization of Islamic Countries.
No, he didn't.
Now, he has come back as a Democrat, where before he can do anything, it must be passed as a law. So you think if he didn't do it then, when he was an autocrat, it's now that he has Senate and there's...
People just don't know. They have run out of ideas. People who are talking about Islamic agenda is just out of empty head. I'm sorry. Just emptiness of head, emptiness of ideas. Just empty head, nothing to do with their head. That's what's making them to talk like that.
So again, the question I always ask is, why can't the Christians Christianize Nigeria?
Yeah, what's disturbing them? Is that the whole way?
So why are they allowing the Islamists to be free play? Yeah. Because for you to say you are Islamizing, it means you must be Islamizing every sector. You must be bringing Islamic principles to every sector. Why can't Christians do that?
If we are going to be objective, before the 90s, during the time of independence, Christians were only about 35% of Nigerian population. It was mainly Muslims, even the Yorubas, mainly Muslims there. Muslims and animists. But who has Islamized or Christianized? Now it is 50-50. 50% of Nigeria is Christian now. So who has Christianized? Of course, Christianity has spread. We are the ones Christianizing. We shouldn't. They are the Muslims are the ones who are supposed to be complaining. So I think people have just run out of ideas from this meeting. People who are complaining about the Muslims, Islamists in Nigeria. They don't get job to do. They are supposed to be creating possibilities and inventing ideas to solve issues. They are just complaining. They don't have job.
They just want to talk.
They just need to make noise, to make relevance out of something.
And most of the people who are shouting this, a lot of them are, although today's not to talk politics, but you find quite a number of them in the opposition party. And here's where I find it difficult again, sir. They say not the guys Buhari, the guys in Northern. Okay, the Northerners are doing born to rule. Okay, say the guys are 4 years. So now in their party, they now zoned presidency to the north again.
Yeah.
So they are now going to support a born to rule.
Victor, I know that you are a politician. But this is the book. Show them the book that we are discussing. And the letter. You have a letter.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote a letter. So you have to start that letter all over again because people have forgotten what you have read.
Yeah, we are going to start that over again. But just to talk about the fact that Nigerians need to reason about the things that are presented to them, and that the only true marginalization in Nigeria is between the rich and the poor. And there's a lot to be proud about in Nigeria. Our diversity, our enterprising spirit, and our energy. We are so energetic as a people. So this is the book we are looking at today, which was
we are not looking at it.
Yeah, this is the book we are looking at, which upon which the person who wrote the letter today wrote his letter. So he wrote the letter after reading this book. Yes. So and the book is How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World. So you may be thinking of how to get it now. So I will take the letter from the beginning again and get to the second point. So the letter says, "Dear SA, I want to sincerely thank you for all your efforts, for all the efforts you put in at giving us your book titled How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World. Just recently, precisely 3rd January 2018, I got 28 titles of your new books, among which is this one titled How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World. I just finished reading the book and wow, I must say, of all your books I have read so far till date, because I've read virtually all your books written in English. This well-researched, articulate masterpiece is my best. Firstly, reading this book did 4 quick things in my life. First, which is what we've talked about, it made me proud to be a Nigerian. Number 2, it opened my eyes to see that there is hope for our country, Nigeria. So he is saying that reading this book opened his eyes to see that there's indeed hope for Nigeria. And you say you know this person, sir?
Yes.
So you definitely know some underlying background to why he said that. So but before you go there, I would like to ask, what do you think makes people lose hope in a country? Then, as it pertains to Nigeria, what makes them lose hope in Nigeria?
Number one, I think, is lack of opportunities, and when there are no laid down rules. For example, in the West, you know that there are laid down rules. If you will work hard, you will be rewarded. You know what you can make if you put in how much effort. Number two, people also lose hope when there is no merit. When people are, merit is not the standard for running the society. Mm-hmm. So when there's no merit, the country is not being run out of merit, then all your efforts are not going to be rewarded. And you can put in all the efforts, but you don't guarantee results. And another thing that is making people to lose hope is poverty, and lack of amenities, infrastructures. So all these things contribute to reasons for loss of hope. But what made him, I don't know if he will write in the book, in the letter still, what made him to regain hope? Because if he's saying that now he started to believe he started to have hope in Nigeria again, like I said, he had lost hope. He wanted to leave the country. And the reason I don't want to mention the name of this pastor is because he's a pastor, and he's a pastor in one of the big churches in Nigeria, and he's a state leader. So a state leader in one of the major denominations, it will be dangerous for him if they know that he's reading my books. Yeah, so that's it.
Wow. So it opened his eyes to see that there is hope for.
And that's why people must read the book. That's why people must read the book if they want to have. I think you should show them. That's why people must read the book, because if they want to have hope in Nigeria again, this book and other books actually, other books will help them to have that hope.
Yeah, so this is how to make Nigeria the greatest country in the world. And only God can save Nigeria. What a myth. Only God can save Nigeria. What a myth. So someone said in this book, Dr. Sunday Elijah is not only a revolutionary genius, but also a trailblazer, an innovator, a pathfinder, and a generational figure. In my entire years of ministry as missionary, I have never read a book written with such a passion, intensity, and authority.
Yeah.
That's what someone said about only God can save Nigeria with a myth. So you should get it. And this one is saying how the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy. Sounds so big.
Yeah.
But if you want to find out how, grab yourself a copy of this book. So, and this one is how to become a developed nation through the dignity of labor. So I think this is a must read for every Nigerian, and in fact everybody all over the world, because nobody will build your country for you. And you must know that God is not in the business of building countries. That's within the job description of man. So if a man will not take his responsibility, it's a pity. but God won't come down to do that. So learn how to build a developed nation through the dignity of labor. And this is a bomb. This is a bomb, and it's called discovering the calling, the purpose and calling of nations. Discovering the calling and purpose of nations. Discovering the calling and purpose of nations. So you need to get this book. You just need to get it. So when you look at the everything about Nigeria, you can be able to discover why was Nigeria created. Why do we have Nigeria? Why must Nigeria be celebrated? Why do you have to be a proud Nigerian? And there's one more here. And it's saying,
I don't see Nigeria and the leadership question, but next time.
Okay. Yeah, it's saying the Nigerian economy, the way forward. So, you know, the Nigerian economy has been a subject of much controversy in recent times, but the way forward has been embedded in this book. So I think you should get a copy and make sure you read it. It's a good read. So, and there's one more. It's not here, but maybe you can find it. It's called
Masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. Because for that one, for me, it went down into the value system of answering the question of what does Nigeria need exactly to get things right. Is it a problem of leadership?
Nigeria and the leadership question.
Yeah, the book is called Nigeria and the Leadership Question. Is Nigeria the way it is because we don't have good leaders? On the scale of probability, in 50 years we should at least have one. So what has happened? So you'll get the answer to that question when you get that book, Nigerian Leadership Question. And just maybe you will discover that you are the leader. That is the solution to that leadership question that Nigeria has been facing. So, but they are good reads. I've read that book myself and I've seen what it can do to you. When you read that book, I mean, for me, after reading it, I felt I could solve the Nigerian problem. I thought I could.
That's what this guy is saying also after reading this book.
Yeah.
That there is hope for Nigeria again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, for you, sir, after those episodes of the between 93 or 19, that was 1986, 87 to 1997, in fact, to 99, in fact. Then again, there was a short episode between 2011 and 2015, or 2009 and 2015. What made you? What gave you that invigoration to hope for in Nigeria again and to say no, I am. I mean, aside for the fact that God spoke to you, yes, but what are those things that you've seen now and working there that makes you believe that no, this Nigeria in my lifetime, or maybe not in my lifetime, there's hope?
Well, first of all, I was not planning to go to Nigeria because I was going to go to Nigeria if it had been my choice, or if God had but if it had been my choice. But I really wanted to be led by God, so I wanted God to always direct me. So that's why I had not paid attention to Nigeria so far, because I was thinking, well, God sent me out from Nigeria, so He's not going to be expecting me to be doing anything there, because He sent me away from there. And the result I have here is satisfactory enough for me to know that it's God who sent me away from Nigeria to do a work for Him here. But what is the basis of my faith in Nigeria? Why do I still believe in Nigeria despite all the incidents of disillusionment that I had? Number one is faith in myself. 90% of the reason why I'm going back to Nigeria is because I know myself. I know what I can do. I know what I've done. I know what I know. There is no nation that will have anybody that knows what I know, that the nation will not be fixed. There is nobody that will have the experience and that I have, and not expect the nation to change. In any nation, it doesn't matter, Nigeria, South Africa, Uganda, Kenya, Australia, If you know what I know, you will fix any country. For example, you just read one book that I read, and you know you can fix it. So the whole reason why I want to go to Nigeria is because of what I know. If you read one book and you said, "Nah, I can fix Nigeria," you read another, Anu read one book and said, or maybe several books, and said, "I'm ready to fix Nigeria." This guy read one book and said, "These are my books." And these are just one books. Yeah. I mean, I have like those kind of books about Nigeria. I'm ready to write at least 100 books. I'm going to write 100 books about Nigeria before I die. So, I know exactly how to fix a country. Not just that country, any country. So as a result of that, that faith in God and in myself is what is making me to have faith in Nigeria. I don't even care how bad it is. I know it doesn't even bother me how bad it is. It's just what I know. I know solutions. That's it for me. The second reason why I might still have faith in Nigeria, people will not believe this, but I'm going to say it's because of my encounter, my 2 meetings I had with Obasanjo. You like it, you don't like it, but those are the things. That is the second reason why I still believe in Nigeria. Only 2 reasons I can find.
Should we push a little more into your meeting with Obasanjo?
Yeah. Okay. What was it?
Yeah, we would like to know, for example, when was this? And
no, that will take us away from the letter.
So okay. So let's go to number 3. Number 3, it says, it made me...
have to start from before what leads us to the point.
Yeah, firstly reading this book, the book, How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World, did 4 quick things in my life. So number 1, it made me proud to be a Nigerian. Number 2, it opened my eyes to see that there is hope for our country, Nigeria. Number 3, it made me to know that Nigeria is a blessed country filled with men and women with great talent and potentials that are needed all over the world.
So basically one could say the things he discovered about Nigerians abroad or Nigerians in general.
I think this is Nigeria in general.
In general, yeah. Okay. The Nigerian gene.
Yeah. It contains
Nigerian
potentials and
DNA.
Yeah.
Contains what?
The great talents and potentials that are needed all over the world.
So his eyes were open to what Nigerians can do or who Nigerians are. And that's why all these people are agitating, because they don't read these kind of books to know what is Nigeria and who are Nigerians and what they carry. I don't know how you understand this statement, but
yeah, for me, I think I see there that now he can now see potentials in Nigerians. And
but he lives in Nigeria now.
Yes.
But he couldn't see.
He couldn't.
So how will you understand that?
I would say that for me, I know that every one of us, we make judgment, we identify things on the basis of the information that we have. So that's why a lot of opportunities, a lot of potentials, a lot of greatness will pass us by every day. If we do not know how to identify them, we will never see them as something good. You told a story one day of how Ukrainians who followed you to Nigeria were seeing debt, but they were seeing money. They were saying, this is money, this is money. But as an average Nigerian, I'm seeing debt. But because of what he knows, he is able to see opportunities. So I think reading this book, How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World, has now opened his own eyes to see potentials in the Nigerians he ordinarily would have thought had no worth. I mean, this is
so most Nigerians are still thinking just like that Nigerians have no worth.
Sadly enough.
So that would be a mistaken judgment.
In my opinion.
Even in the opinion of the writer, because he used to think like that. But it's changed that opinion, which means that all the Nigerians who are still thinking negative about Nigeria can still change that opinion.
Yeah. I think it's all about information that people have. Information that people have. So, but for you, sir, what was it that made you first realize this great potentials in Nigeria? What was it that you saw and you said, no? I mean, because you wrote this, you were the one who gave the information that made him realize that. But for you, what was the first thing about? I mean, you've told us things we should be proud of as Nigerians, but what was it that really opened your eyes to see these great potentials and talents in Nigerians?
In Nigeria or in Nigerians?
In Nigerians.
Nigerians, okay. First of all, my own family tradition. I had my brother, my uncle, that everybody he was a celebrity, he was a star. He was in the first set of students in University of Nigeria, Nsukka. It was in the very first set of Nigeria University of Nigeria, Nsukka. And he finished first class. One first class upper, or first class, whatever they call it, one. And then he went to Sorbonne in France. And he excelled, did his PhD there, and, finished the best student in France. So that kind of gave us faith in ourselves that, hey, you know what? There is something in our blood. There is something in Nigerians. And when I was growing up all my life, every story I was hearing was that all the Nigerians we knew around us, they went to, those days, they were going to the best schools, Oxford, Cambridge, mainly Oxford, Cambridge. Even people who are teaching in secondary school, Oxford, Cambridge graduate, Sorbonne, and the best university in the world. And they were always I was always hearing stories that they were always the best in their classes among white people.
Even till now.
So if that is the case, I just already knew from when I can't even remember, since when I was very young, that if we're the best always in every class, the black people are always the top of the class among the white people. It just made me to know that we're superior, that we're good. So that is the first thing, because that's what question you had. What was the first thing? That was the first thing from when I was young. So I knew that if I would go abroad, I should only go abroad to be the first. So that's why I don't understand right now how Nigerians could be living abroad, because now what I see in abroad is not the same. I'm not talking of the classrooms. Yeah. I'm talking of life. Because for me, it was not classroom I was associating it with. It was classroom and everything else. So, when I get abroad, in Europe alone, we have more than 14 million Nigerians. Maybe not, but at least 4 million Nigerians, maybe more, maybe 10 million Nigerians.
That's a country.
Yeah, that's a country. But out of all these 14 million Nigerians in Europe, if you put plus America, it's 22 million Nigerians. So all these Nigerians that are overseas, I don't see them excelling, personally. I don't see them the way. So, for example, I don't understand. Most Nigerians who are living abroad and in UK, America, everywhere, most of them are just working for survival. It doesn't click with my own mindset when I was growing up. When I was growing up, I knew that why should I then leave Nigeria if I'm not just going to be that was the mindset. You don't leave Nigeria if you're not going to be the best. So why should I leave? If I cannot be the best over there, why should I leave? Let me just remain at home. So if I'm going to go abroad, it will mean to dominate, to be the best, to excel everywhere there. But what I see now is everybody just want to survive. They're just going to job and getting a job. And then, getting salary and calling some white people their boss. I mean, I cannot believe how many Nigerians are in the UK and how little of them are. For example, if I begin to deal with Western Europe, East Europe, give me 5 years, I will have my people in every parliament in Europe. Give me 5 years and I will have my people as mayors. Even I will have my people contested as prime ministers in every country. Maybe not every country, but in most countries in Europe. For me, it's easy to do. And I don't even live in those countries. Just like yesterday, we had a talk with the guy from Holland, Livio. He is not even, I never even saw him. But just listening to me, he's already running for the parliament over there in the country. In 1 year. 1 year is enough. And last year, when he met me in summer, he was a drug pusher, selling drugs, and he was ready to commit suicide. He had attempted 2 or 3 suicide attempts when he met me. It was in that suicidal situation that he put on the Facebook and he started seeing me. And now he's the chairman of the youth, the political party, or the National Youth political party that he is in. And now he's sitting with the mayor, he's one of the leaders of the city, Rotterdam. The only black man, the youngest. Just by listening to me 1 year alone. In Finland, I just went there 2 times. And I went there 1 time, I gave some messages. By the time I came back the next year, the person that listened to me, he was already a member of parliament. Just because he listened to me. So I just don't know what Nigerians are thinking or what they are doing. Or why they don't have the information, or they don't have or they have not been taught, or what. And some of them are not even reading books. It's easy to take over any country. And I proved it. I was going to America for 6 months. In the next 6 months of going to America, I was already in the Senate talking to them. I was already holding home group in the White House. I was already speaking in United Nations twice. Japan, I went there 2 times. I brought several Japanese senators to the Lord. I was going to Israel, 2 times. The second, after going there for 2 years, one of the time they had to send plane to come and get me, to come and meet the prime minister. So it all depends on what people know. And so when I see Nigerians just walking around, just going to job, some of them are even go to factories. That's why I'm writing all these books, to wake people up. Their life is much more interesting. Anybody can control the world. Anybody can become anything. Easy, especially in Germany there. Germany, Italy, Spain, all this Western Europe. Easy. But we don't even think about what to do that. I don't even know what question you asked me again. I'm sorry. You got my attention.
No. Because you were still talking about the potentials and talents and how what opened your own eyes to see the first time, in the first instance, and you said it was the fact that Nigerians were excelling in those days. Whenever they move out of the country, they were beating their colleagues. But as much as we see it now, I think it's just academics. So because in academic, I mean, even here in Ukraine, the way Nigerians just clear everything, the honors roll. But life goes beyond academics. What then is do we do with those? So when real life comes, are we still excelling? That's the question. But the potential, the greatness is there. The fact that we are not using it does not mean it's not there. So, but when we wake up to
all those people you are talking about, academics, that they are excellent, for example, the ones at least I see here in Ukraine or in the UK or America, for me they don't have any book just to give an exam. They don't give an exam. That's what you are talking about. For me, as far as I'm concerned, they are not more educated. And most of them will witness to this, that only when they started reading my books or listening to me, they discover that they don't know anything. Go to my YouTube, Facebook, or YouTube something, and click just any video and read comments that people are writing after listening to me. Not the ones who are coming to call me Antichrist and monkey. Not the ones who are coming to abuse me. But I'm just saying the ones who have listened to me proper. Go and read the comments. Everybody is saying as if they don't know anything again. Everybody is even saying as if, not just they don't know anything, as if they have just come alive all over again. Because that is the level of education people give themselves. That's the level of competitiveness people give themselves. For me, anybody who does well in school, academic, that doesn't mean anything yet. When I was doing well in school, in academics, to me that meant everything. It was vast. It was not like what I'm saying now. I'm still talking about when I was in university and I was the best student, I could talk with anybody on any level. I was better that time than now in some things when it comes to being vast and being developed. I didn't limit myself to just, say some things. So that was education. Because I was not just reading the books, but I was that's what I call the education. But if you are not like that, you are not developing your mind as a human being, you just giving classes, going to class and give exams. That is not what I call, I don't respect that much. But people that I respect are people who are versatile and who are erudite and who are, who have worked on themselves, extra class, beyond school, beyond class. People you will put anywhere and you will not be ashamed. People who will bring, illumination to their world. Anywhere they stand, they know everything about everything. Those are the people I think they are developed, they are educated. But I don't see that much about Nigerians, with Nigerians. Yeah.
Wow, so you are still on with us at the DSS quarters. So the program is Dear Dr. Sunday, and my name is Bamishai Victor. We have with us who has been reviewing and giving response to the letters, the man himself, the man of the moment, as someone would like to call him. So we have Dr. Sunday Adelaja.
What is the man of the moment? I see that in the comments. Once someone how to use that statement, but it may mean different things to different people. But to me, that doesn't really. I don't know the meaning. What does that mean to you, man of the moment?
Well, when I see that, the man who is dictating the pace.
Okay.
As of now, who is setting the trend? So,
for me, for example, the word pace setter would be a better word.
Yeah, but maybe just diversify and use it in a better the way you express it. Yeah.
Is that how people will understand it too?
Probably, but I believe that's his own expressions of the time he wrote it.
When people read that, they know what it means.
Well,
you don't know.
Maybe different strokes for different folks. But for me, when I see it, I am thinking of the man who is setting what is happening now.
Okay,
who has put that in place. Yeah. Okay. So let's take a last lap to the fourth thing that the writer wrote about, because we are running quickly out of time. So I'll take it from the first again. And the writer wrote in to give his to thank Dr. Sunday for this book, How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World. Do your best to get it. There are a lot of other books that have been written about Nigeria, and you can get to read many of them free on Amazon. And if you can't get it on Amazon, you can write in here at dssbooks@gmail.com. 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 And you can write to get it. If you're in Nigeria, you can write Chioma. Chioma has a. She has
a comment in the comment.
Okay. All right. So, thank you. Then he is saying, sir, that firstly, reading this book, How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World, did 4 quick things in my life. It made me proud to be a Nigerian. It opened my eyes to see that there is hope for our country, Nigeria. It made me to know that Nigeria is a blessed country filled with men and women with great talents and potentials that are needed all over the world. Number 4 says it opened my eyes to know that as Nigerians, even though we're black, we are not inferior to the whites. What would you say about this?
Well, I think there is nobody that can prove that better than I. No better proof. I don't think if there's, and maybe there are other Nigerians somewhere in the world who can prove that fact, that blacks are not worse than white, than Sunday Adelaja. But for sure, Sunday Adelaja is probably the most glaring. At a point, they used to point to Sunday Adelaja and Barack Obama. Barack Obama was leading a country where that is, you could say, 70% white, as against him being a black person. But I am also leading not a country, but an organization that I formed and created from scratch and raised people to be who they are. You know, at a point in Ukraine here, we're having close to 100,000 people all over the country. So that's not much, but to see that 99% of all that is white, that is the only black person that has done that. Not just as a Nigerian, but as a black person in general. Even in Kyiv alone here, 25,000 people, just white people, maybe less than 100 blacks. That's less than 1% actually, if you have 20%, 20,000. So I know for sure that blacks are not inferior. But when I knew that even when I was back in my village, in the sense that I heard it from other people, but I tried it when I came here, because I had in my university, we had students from 99 countries of the world, 16,000 students. And I was one of the best in that university, in the history of the university. In the 25 years history of the university when I was studying, I was the top student. Maybe there were people who were as good, but in my faculty, I was, one of the best that has ever studied in the university there. So, and I'm a black man. And, when I was studying, I didn't even compete with whites, because they were not the ones I was competing with. Maybe some few white girls were there that were, good. But I was competing with people from Ethiopia, people from Vietnam. Those are the ones who gave me the fight of my life. But they were cheating. Some of them were cheating, but I was not, because I was a Christian, and I was doing well. So I was it was Soviet Union at that time. So I was selected to be in the 25. In the Soviet Union, they had maybe 5,000 universities in the 15 countries. So out of that 5,000 universities, I was in the 25 only the top 25 student graduates of the 5,000 universities. And I was given a national award by the Soviet Union and a trip and a treat, to be in the top 25 students that have ever finished in Soviet University. So I know for sure that blacks are not inferior to whites, and Nigerians especially.
So, for those of you who may be feeling that probably the things that are in these developed climes or developed countries, as it were, is because some people are white, and those things are not in Nigeria because people are black. Now you can see, it's not about the color of the skin. It's about the values and the information, the ethos, the ethics that are known and are applied. So we have pastors.
It can never be, because can you imagine me? I'm sitting here right now. This my house, of course, was built by white people. Do you know that when I wanted to finish my house in 9 months or 1 year, 9 months. We had 250 people working day and night in my house. Yeah, they were all white people. So that's number one. Number two, my drivers are white, all of them. I have been 5 drivers, they are all white. We have cooks. All my cooks here in this house are all white. whatever, assistants. Even the mayor of my city used to be a member of my church. He was a white person, just a member of my church. The Supreme Court, the Supreme Chairman of the Supreme Court of the country used to be submit to me as a member of my church as well. The mayor of the city was submitted to me as a member of my church. 34% of the parliament of the city was submitted to me as a member of my church. And they're all parliamentarians. And I am the pastor, their pastor. They are the one they come to. 200 millionaires who are all white. And I am the one who made them. So we don't even begin to talk about blacks being inferior at all. That's why I wrote that book. What's the name of the book? How the blacks brought civilization to Europe. I wrote that book just to help black people know, and white people also, what black people have done before in history, and to know that blacks, we are not even talking about blacks being inferior. So some people were telling us, oh, maybe we are cursed, we are under a curse, why are things not working out for us? They said you are not, it's just because you are not informed, that's why you are cursed. That's why I wrote this book, How Africans Brought Civilization to Europe. It's not just in the past, but now too. And I'm doing it, and I already told you what, not just in Ukraine I've done this. Some people will say, oh, because it's Ukraine, it's former Soviet Union, they don't, maybe it's not the first country. Well, I told you what happened in Japan when I went there. I told you what happened in the United States. I told you what happened in the Senate of the UNO, in Mexico, in Israel, in Norway.
I once learned that a country was sponsoring your messages on their TV station.
Holland,
Netherlands.
They were paying, the country was paying the national television to broadcast my messages. Netherlands, this is a first world country.
Because of the values.
Because of the values. Then the national television of France sent people here to make report about, to interview me and do program about this black phenomenon in Europe. I don't even live in France. I've never been to France before then. Canal 2, Quant, Canal 5, Canal 2, two channels came, 2 different times. Then the National Broadcasting Corporation of Germany also sent people down here to do a report about this phenomenon. BBC sent people down to do report. Washington Times, New York Times, Washington Post, New York Times, all of them sent people down here too. So they are named a black man. So, to talk about black being inferior is just not possible. It's just not possible.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Sunday Adelade, for your time today. We would like to release you so you can get some breath.
Yeah, in 30 minutes.
For the next program in 30 minutes.
Is it 30 minutes?
Yes, less than 30 minutes. Less than
30 minutes.
And only God knows how you get to go. Because for someone like me, after this kind of program, I'm already wasted. I'm tired. But you, after this one, you do 9. After the 12, it's not like you're even going to sleep. You still have other meetings. And in the morning, you are here. So only God knows how you do it. Well, we will be doing what we can do for now. So you've heard it. The skin color is not the determinant for greatness. The determinant for greatness is the ethics, the values, the knowledge that you have, and how you choose to live your life. And this book is a testament to that, how Africans brought civilization to Europe. In a world where a lot of Europeans and Americans are trying to whitewash history, I think this is a masterpiece that must be read. You have a lot of secrets here. Because what they are trying to do, they are actually whitewashing history. I've seen a painting, I've seen a painting before, which they had to even confess, one of their news television. The general there on that picture, it was the general that saved the battle, that won the battle. But now they are now calling him a slave. But he was a general. So that's why you need to read this book to see exactly what people have brought to Europe, and that you are in no way inferior, and that you can do even more in this age where you have more tools, more exposure.
The Nigerian books.
Yeah, so I'm going to show them the Nigerian books now. So again, after reading that, I think you should also get this one. Discovering the purpose and calling of nations. It is so important that you get it. Then when maybe you discover that of Nigeria and maybe your own country as well, and then you can begin to live right in that sense. Then we have this, The Nigerian Economy, The Way Forward. I think you should get this book. For those of you who are thinking of how to help the Nigerian economy, or you have so many questions about Nigerian economy or how Nigerian economy can be great, so you should read this book, The Nigerian Economy, The Way Forward. Yes. And this one is called Only God Can Save Nigeria, What a Myth. A lot of people have said, that country, and it's only God. If God does not have Nigeria, nobody can know. But this book has proven that it's a myth. Because especially in the light of a lot of countries that don't even know God and are doing well. So, but the information as it pertains to Nigeria exactly is in this book, and you'll find out that it's a myth that only God can save Nigeria. So the next question, the next book here is The Nigerian Economy, How the Nigerian Economy Can Overtake the American Economy. This is not a bogus statement. It's a fact. It's proven.
Not a bravado.
Yeah, it's not being braggadocious. Yeah, it's saying what the fact is, telling the truth. And so get this book and read the content.
You get the shock of your life.
Yeah, so that's from the horse's mouth. You are going to get the shock of your life when you read this book. Yeah, so the next one here is how to develop a nation, how to become a developed nation through the dignity of labor. How to become a developed nation through the dignity of labor. The dignity of labor can really transform Nigeria in ways that you cannot imagine. We remember in those days when they used to sing Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ á máa jalè, ìwé kíkọ láìsí ọkọ́ àti àdá kò ì pé o, rárá kò ì pé o. Those were the values that made Nigeria boom in those glorious days that DSA was talking about, the days of groundnut pyramids and cocoa and palm oil and everything, when people actually valued dignity of labor. Well, now somehow we've lost it somewhere. How can we get it back? Get it in this book. And the one that the writer who wrote into this segment that we reviewed talked about was how to make Nigeria the greatest country in the world. So how to make Nigeria the greatest country in the world. And he highlighted 4 quick things that the book did in his life. He said, number 1, it made him proud to be a Nigerian. Number 2, he said it opened his eyes to see that there is hope for our country, Nigeria. Number 3, it made him to know that Nigeria is a blessed country filled with men and women with great talent and potentials that are needed all over the world. Number 4, it opened his eyes to know that as Nigerians, even though we are black, we are not inferior to the white. So this is the book that the man read, and he said, Kai, of all the books he's written or he's read, that this for him is the best. A lot of people say that about different books that Pastor Sunday has written, but for him this was the best. And I asked Pastor Sunday what are those things that he can quickly mention that Nigerians should be proud for, and he said our diversity, our enterprise, and our energy. So as a Nigerian, you should be proud of those things. So let's hear a goodbye from Pastor Sunday before we close this segment. Pastor Sunday, will you say goodbye, sir?
Yes, so this is a new segment, a new episode of the different programs that we try to bring to you when we examine the letters from our viewers and people who have benefited from this ministry. So this was such a letter. So have a wonderful time. In the next 20-15 minutes time, I will be on again to continue the session on love, on knowing and understanding God.